this is R.J. Wellington. This video is a continuation of my first presentation in this series called The Great Awakening and the Return of the Alliance. If you haven't watched that video, please stop and go back to it so you will understand the concepts shared here. In my first video in this series, we spoke about several subjects and why we are experiencing this moment in the time-space continuum of your planet. I had a lot of responses through email from my first video, and I was waiting for those responses to elaborate this new transmission. Synchronistically, many of you have asked the question I was expecting you to ask. And the question is, how can I become an untouchable? And I will show you how by the end of this transmission. I will show you a powerful starting point, If you don't know what an untouchable is, either you did not watch my first video in this series, or you did not pay attention to it. I will not repeat myself here, so do your homework. By now, it is clear for those who are awakening that we are living in times of revolution. A revolution that was predicted and expected. A revolution that cannot be stopped. It is the Alliance Revolution, which is really a revolution of consciousness. A moment when you say enough and finally free yourselves from the tyrant manipulation of the matrix. It is time for you to free yourselves from those who have infiltrated your politics, your churches, your science, your media. Those who want to turn your world into a slave camp and totally alter your lifestyle by taking away your freedoms and putting people against people. Now, during this period, those who have a strong foundation, those who can neutralize fear, will prevail at the end. And this strong foundation has been built throughout the last few hundred years, for those who have had the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Now is the time for you to act. Yes, you, who consider yourself a religious or quote-unquote spiritual person, a healer, a light worker, a patriot, a caring human, etc. It is time for you to allow for your codes to be activated. In this video, pay attention to this. This video will show you how to activate the code that allows you to become an untouchable, if you wish. Either you believe in the information you are getting on a silver plate, or you don't. We can show you the way, but we can't walk it for you. Our assignment is to guide you, but you have to take immediate action. Now is the time for you, who have, directly or indirectly, received the transmissions from the highest levels of interdimensional beings, to put your knowledge into practice. Those of you who were somehow attracted to the transmissions from beings such as Seth, Ramta, Bashar, Ilan, Abraham, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, Neville Goddard, Joseph Murphy, Ernest Holmes, David Icke, the movie The Matrix, and many other sources that have been trying to show you the path to expanding your consciousness. Now is the time for you who call yourselves energy healers or Reiki masters to put on your shoes and do something for your fellow human beings who are still trapped in the matrix and suffering the consequences of this mass manipulation that we are going through right now. Now is the time to see who is who in this amazing reality simulation game that you have decided to experience. Do you consider yourself spiritual, religious, a healer, a knower of metaphysics? Really? If so, why are you so confused and scared? I know who I'm talking to. Why are you doing all you can to avoid catching a flu virus? Or to avoid being criticized for your point of view, or for expressing your freedom of choice? Where is your faith? Where is your knowledge? Where is your courage? Now is the time to use it. That's why we have been preparing you for this time. Do you really think infinite consciousness, or what you call God, is so powerless that it boils down to a virus? That it boils down to a few psychopathic, fearful manipulators? Who are you giving your power to? Who are you afraid of? Are you so weak and manipulated that you are getting down on your knees to please a bunch of hypnotized zombies? Do you get it? This is what they want for you to do. They want you to say, I give up, I have no power, I kneel down for you, while they take away all of your freedoms. Don't be a coward, please. Strong, courageous human beings will kneel down only to God, because we are not afraid of the opinion and judgment of those wicked manipulators and the zombie armies who are in a much lower level than we, the Untouchables, are. They are miserable, afraid and hopeless. That's why they are using the last cards, playing dirty, in a last attempt to turn this world into a so-called socialist dictatorship. Is that what you truly want for you and your loved ones? In a few minutes, I will give you one formula, one of the secrets that has always been available to all, but understood only by a few. A powerful formula to turn you into an untouchable. Stay with me. The revolution is here. You chose it to be here at this moment in time and space. Now, what you do about it will define your destiny and the destiny of your planet, of your children. Just to review, the so-called cabal or deep state has been altering your human nature through hypnosis and psychological manipulation for millennia. They are behind the fabricated health crisis that the world is experiencing now, in a desperate attempt to keep mankind from evolving. They are also trying to alter people's biological systems through magnetic radiation, genetically engineered food, poisoned water, and lately through nanotechnology. In their psychopathic attempts to have full control over the size of the population on Earth and turn them into acquiescent machines without free will, they have managed to greatly reduce human fertility. They are manipulating information to keep people dumb and decrease their cognitive abilities. They are trying to program your children and teens in schools and colleges. They are doing it openly, shamelessly, and many brave souls have tried and are trying to warn mankind. But those of you who are deeply trapped in the matrix can turn against even those who are trying to free you. Their strategy is to divide and conquer. Are you falling for that trap? The very few manipulators can control the many because they have acquired control over the mass consciousness, leading the sheep into any alternate reality they wanted to appease their sick hunger for power and domination. This is done through the same processes that are used in the science of hypnosis. And pay attention, hypnosis does not happen just through a classic set of commands. I know, I have been trained in the arts of hypnosis and subliminal technology. Hypnosis does not happen only when you are sitting on a couch and being told to go deeper and deeper. It is also happening when you turn on your TV set, when you read your newspapers, or when you watch some movies, or when you log into the internet. All of these have been used as weapons of mass manipulation. These weapons are more powerful than atomic bombs, I tell you. The current fabricated health crisis, which is no more than a flu blown out of proportion to destroy society as you know it, is an example of it. Turn into the mainstream media and you'll be bombarded with fear-mongering information 24 hours a day. The main topics of the moment are this pandemic and the social unrest is going on around America and the world. All this was carefully orchestrated. It was planned years ago to happen on an election year in the USA, to take down some people from their leading roles and materialize the agenda of world control under an extreme system that aims to take more of your freedoms away. And this is affecting most people at deeper levels, reinforcing the narrative that they are powerless and must obey the directives of fake experts. This is turning people against people. This may be making you afraid of expressing your point of view, lest you be ostracized, ridiculed, and even lose your job. This is the classic divide and conquer strategy being used right in front of your eyes. Now, do you still think this is just a conspiracy theory? Really? Now, what if the mainstream media showed only good, positive info instead? What if they were honest and presented the truth? What if you turned on your TV or logged it to the internet and were told that the so-called pandemic hoax is over? That people have acquired herd immunity and it is now okay to go back to normal life and throw away those useless masks? What if the media told you that all this nonsense was masterfully created by psychopathic Machiavellians to overthrow governments and push their enslaving agenda for the US and the earth? I bet you my soul that if the media you trust so much changed the narrative and told you the truth, in a matter of a few weeks the world would be totally different and people would drop their fears. The pandemic would be over. The brainwashing and collective hypnosis would be over. But that is the power of the matrix control mainstream media and its mind control program. By controlling information and creating a make-believe reality, they control your personal reality. They limit your reality and make you believe in whatever they want you to believe, even if that costs you your own life and your loved ones. Wake up! The Matrix has you. They control your thoughts, feelings, and actions by exploiting your reptilian-based survival instincts. They don't care about showing you good news. They don't care about showing a better version of the truth. They are actually going as far as creating a so-called cancel culture to ridicule, prosecute, and attack any person or company that goes against their narrative, their evil narrative and objectives. They want you to hate, to divide, fear, and fight for their agenda. Don't be a brainwashed idiot, please. Honest and caring doctors and healthcare professionals have been punished and lost their jobs for bravely revealing the truth about this fabricated pandemic and the easy treatments available for this flu that could change this thing. People are being attacked in different forms just for standing by their values and saying that they are Christians or they support a specific political view or leader. Where have America's basic rights gone? They have gone down the drain. Do you agree? As I have told you in my previous video, one essential step for us to win this evolution of consciousness and break out of the collective hypnosis is to neutralize fear. Why? Because fear is the only weapon these repulsive manipulators can use to keep you under control. Once you become fearless, they have lost control over you. Period. Now I will share an amazing formula for you to become an untouchable and drop all your fears, if you wish. The Bible that many of you worship is really a repository of coded metaphysical knowledge, and the Psalms of King David of the Hebrews hold many coded information that previously were accessible only to the initiated in the art of Kabbalah. The Psalms of David are part of the Torah, or what you would call the Old Testament. They are incantations, or literally magic rituals, to connect you with the universal force. Rituals that only masters know how to activate. This is the biggest secret behind metaphysics and nowadays quantum physics. The concept that through the power of consciousness you can alter your individual and collective reality. David, the powerful king of the original Hebrews, was undeniably a master of the secret teachings acquired by some of his people in Egypt. At a very young age, David was able to defeat Goliath, the giant. David can be seen as a real character who existed in the past, but also as a metaphor for our own potential once we drop the fear from our consciousness. At his time, David fought a very strong negative force that was threatening his own people. Now it is our time. And King David of the Hebrews gave us the formula. The giant that David defeated was one of those draconian entities, the same that we, the Alliance, with your help, are overcoming today. In the Torah book of Deuteronomy 9:1 and 2, we read, "Hear, O Israel, you are to cross over the Jordan today, to go into dispossess nations greater and mightier than you, cities great and fortified up to heaven, a people great and tall, the sons of the Anakim, whom you know, and of whom you have heard it said, who can stand before the sons of Anak?" Who are they? Who are those giants? In Genesis 6 verse 4, we read, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them." Goliath most probably was one of the Nephilim. They, pretty much like the current evil cabal, you are being enslaved by today had the goal of enslaving the human hybrid race. Can you truly understand the depth of this? I hope so, because they are the keys to freedom. Here's the formula, the magic ritual given to us by King David of the Hebrews, the original people of Israel. I have had great results from using this formula. I have got out of major troubles by activating this magical incantation. I had developed the power and courage that I never thought I could master, and so did my metaphysical students, and you can do the same. I have heard first-hand accounts of people, yes, people like you and me, who were spared of deadly car accidents, people who were shot at and did not receive any bullet, people who survived plane crashes, people who survived deadly bombings, who escaped from concentration camps, who magically survived the hostage situations, and people who even heal so-called terminal diseases by using this magic Torah formula. This is the most powerful incantation you can ever use for protection and elimination of fear in your life. And you need this at this moment and for the stormy months to come. You will be grateful for us to remind you of this formula. I promise. And now, without any further interruption, I will give you the magical formula that can turn you into an untouchable. The formula is Psalm 9:1, what I call the magical metaphysical formula for protection and fearlessness from King David of the Hebrews. And it says, open quote, whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the fowler's snare and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies during the day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only observe with your eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. If you say, the Lord is my refuge, and you make the Most High your dwelling, no harm will overtake you, no disaster will come near your tent. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. Because He loves me, say the Lord, I will rescue him. I will protect him, for he acknowledges my name. He will call on me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Close quote. This is beautiful, right? Can you feel the power of this incantation, of this magic formula. It takes care of every challenge you can conceive and face, like deadly pestilences, all kinds of diseases, including the Chinese plague that is scaring the world today. It takes care of arrows and bullets, including those coming from the mobs of hypnotized zombies who are trying to destabilize America and the whole world. It takes care of the lion and the cobra or serpent. Remember that the serpent is represented by the reptilian brain-based psychopaths who are trying to overthrow legitimate governments and turn the world into a socialistic slave camp. This formula also gives you rejuvenation and long life, as said in the last verse, "With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation." So, there it is. Once you interiorize this formula and make it a part of your consciousness, you will neutralize fear automatically and be out of the control of the psychopaths. You will be stronger than they are because they live in the frequency of fear, and you will not any longer. I have pasted this whole magic incantation below in the comment section for your convenience. Please copy and paste and print it. Read this every day. Use your mind and your heart as you repeat these words, knowing that they came from a great initiated man. Accept this amazing formula for protection and courage and see what happens in your life. You'll see changes in a few days. You'll become more courageous. I have to make it clear that I'm not a traditional evangelical, much less a Catholic Christian. I'm not trying to convert you to anything. I'm just trying to free your mind. I'm a metaphysicist. We have no attachment to mainstream religion or spirituality, which are part of the matrix. We just decipher the codes given by the ancients, and that's how we see your Bible, as a metaphysical manual hidden from the eyes of those who don't have the keys to translate and use it. To us, this magic formula for protection is a scientific formula to help focus in your consciousness on a specific frequency that creates energetic ripples that in turn create a different reality for those who use it, with the knowingness that it works. That is the secret of all magic and miracles, by the way. Keep it in mind. So please, send this information, this magic, life-saving formula to everyone you know and care about. Please share this video with all the people you love and care about. By doing this, you will be helping the Alliance prevail in this war for your consciousness. Do you want freedom? Do you want the end of slavery? Do you want peace and growth for your world? Start with yourself and those you love. Free yourself and be a light for your loved ones, for your community, for your country, for your planet. We are living through very important and decisive times. And if millions of people over the world use this formula and eliminate fear, I promise you, we will prevail. It is time for the Great Awakening. I will be revealing more soon, if you wish. May the Force be with you always.